You guys ready? Keita, Peter?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Greg Hahn. I'm Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Indianapolis Public Transportation Corporation. And this is our April meeting. Today is April 17th, 2025, and it is 4:03 p.m. And sorry, we're a couple minutes late. The post-road closing of the railroad tracks threw some of us off, including me. But hopefully that was a rough crossing, so it'd be nice to have it fixed. So the first order of business is to do the roll call. And Robert Fry, our legal officer, will do that for us.
Good afternoon, directors. Please indicate your attendance when I call your name. Director Quick, Director Fagan, Director Wilson,
Present.
Director Gardner,
Present.
Chairman Hahn.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Next is the awards and commendations. And our president and CEO, Jennifer Purrs, will present awards and commendations that we have this month.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jennifer Pierce, President and CEO. I am always happy to share awards and commendations. So for this month, we always start off with the operators that are being recognized for their safe driving for the month. Yeah. Thank you so much. So the following operators, the operators listed on the slide were recognized for their safe driving for the month of March and received a National Safety Council patch, pin, and certificate. So congratulations to all of you. And then on the next slide, we always like to highlight one of those drivers. Thomas Jacobs is our highlight for today. He is coach operator in our fixed route and has been working for us for 40 years and has passed the mark of 27 years of safe driving. So congratulations to Thomas. Next, we have our March Operations Employee of the Month. Lakita Smith is a coach operator with us. Professional coach, and these are some highlights from her nomination. Professional coach operator Lakita Smith has consistently demonstrated a commendable level of professionalism through her 13 years with us. She has cultivated an exceptional rapport with her riders, ensuring they feel comfortable and valued during their journeys. Her ability to foster positive interactions reflects her strong communication skills and dedication to customer service. In addition to her excellent relationship with riders, Lakita has established a great working relationship with her colleagues, contributing to a collaborative and supportive work environment. It is worth noting that she currently maintains an impeccable safety record with 0 valid comments, events, or preventable accidents. This highlights her commitment to safety and quality of service. She consistently achieves high daily on-time performance percentages, which underscores her reliability and efficiency in meeting operational KPIs. Overall, her dedication and performance make her a highly valued member of the team. Congratulations, Lakita. That is an amazing nomination. All right, and our March Garage Employee of the Month is Hector Gonzalez with the HVAC team. He's one of our HVAC technicians. From his nomination, we are pleased to recognize Hector Gonzalez as Employee of the Month for his outstanding performance improvement, his willingness to solve issues proactively, and the pride he takes in his duties. Hector's dedication to excellence and commitment to finding solutions have made a significant impact, setting a strong example for his colleagues. His hard work and positive attitude truly embody the values we strive for in our workplace. Congratulations, Hector. All right, I wanted to highlight some exciting news from the APTA International Rodeo. The International Bus Rodeo is an annual competition that showcases driving skills and maintenance expertise and is also a platform for training and networking among its participants. The event presents a valuable opportunity for operators and maintenance teams to learn new skills and connect with fellow professionals from various transit agencies. 75 operators and 52 3-person mechanic teams from across the US and Canada participated in this year's event. In addition to the competitive events, attendees took part in workshops covering topics such as mindful driving, resilience and psychological safety, combating human trafficking, high voltage safety, innovations in electric HVAC technology, crisis awareness and de-escalation in public transit, and the Allison Electric Hybrid Advantage. We're so happy to have had the opportunity to send several of our teammates to compete in this year's rodeo. The skills and insights that they've gained from the sessions will be shared with their teammates. As the winner of our IndyGo rodeo competition last fall, LaShonda McGee was our representative competing in the professional coach operator portion of the rodeo. She did an awesome job and represented us so well. And then next slide, our mechanic team, Adam Sprock, Alex Walker, and Jared Durham comprised our mechanic team at the International Rodeo. While the operators are competing individually, the mechanics team is event-based. Adam, Alex, and Jared had the privilege of competing at International by virtue of their winning the IndyGo competition that we held last fall. Thank you. And if we have anybody listening in who is not muted, would you please mute yourself? Thank you so much. Lastly, I have some fun news about safety and security peer review. A panel of transit industry source matter experts, which included IndyGo's Director of Risk and Safety, Brian Clem, provided assistance recently to the Sunline Transit Agency by means of a peer review that was facilitated by the American Public Transportation Association. The topic of the peer review was safety and security. The observations and recommendations of the team, which were shared in a final presentation in late March, will be compiled into a final report and will serve as a valuable tool in the Sunline Transit Agency's effort to enhance their safety and security. You may also like to know that APTA, through the requesting agency, paid for all of Brian's travel, airfare, hotel, and meal expenses. So we were very happy to have him participate. While Brian was there to help Sunline with their safety and security challenges, the experience also provided him with the opportunity to learn what other transit agencies are doing in this space and what lessons they have learned along the way, and helping him connect to his peers for ongoing collaboration. Brian is excited to bring back what he learned to IndyGo to help us improve our own work. So that is all I have. Thank you for allowing me the time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Item 3 is committee reports. And I know everybody's had an opportunity to review those, and there are no objections. We will enter the Service and Governance and Audit Committee reports for their meetings on April the 10th, 2025 into the record. Does anybody have any questions on those? Okay, thank you. Now going to the regular agenda, item number 4. We will begin with action item A1, consideration and approval of the March 2025 board meeting minutes. And are there any questions, comments, anything that you've seen that we need to amend or add? Okay, I'll ask for a motion and second for consideration and approval of March 2025
So
board
moved,
meeting
Mr.
minutes.
Chair.
Second.
Okay, all those opposed, say aye. Or all those, I'm sorry, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Say nay. There we go. No nays. So passed and approved. Next is action item A2, consideration and approval of amendment number 1 to the legal services contract with Hoover Hall Turner LLP, and that'll be presented by our Chief Legal Counsel, Robert Fry.
Good afternoon, directors. Robert Fry, Chief Legal Officer. I recommend that the board authorize the President and Chief Executive Officer to execute amendment number 1 to the contract with Hoover Holt Turner LLP law firm for the provision of legal services to the board to extend the term of the agreement for 1 year through May 1st, 2026. So by way of a little bit of background, in 2024, the board determined that it was advisable to engage services of outside legal counsel to provide legal advice and direction to the board in instances where the legal work may present a conflict of interest or an appearance of a conflict of interest for IPTC staff attorneys, or which may be outside the expertise or capacity of staff attorneys to handle. Accordingly, the board elected to engage the services of local law firm Hoover Hull Turner LLP to provide these services based on its prior experience with the firm. At its meeting on May 23rd, 2024, the board approved a contract with Hoover Hull Turner for a one-year term commencing May 1st, 2024 and terminating on May 1st, 2025. As stated, this amendment would simply extend the term for 1 year through May 1st, 2026 on all the same terms and conditions, which primarily for me means no price increase. So with that, I can try to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
No.
All right. All those in favor of, well, I'll ask for a motion second for consideration and approval of amendment number 1 to the legal services contract.
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Show that the ayes have it. It's approved. Thanks, Bob. Next is action item A3, and that's consideration and approval of Ecolane Operations Technology and IndyGo Access presented by Michael Roth.
Good evening, directors. Mike Roth, Deputy Chief Transportation Officer here for IndyGo. This is for the consideration and approval of a contract extension for Ecolane, which is the IndyGo Access Operations Technology platform that we currently use. It's recommended that the IPTC Board of Directors authorize our President and CEO, Jennifer Pierce, to enter into this one-year contract extension from August of 2025 through August of 2026 for an amount of the value of $228,779 for the one contract year extension. The original contract was $940,489, and now the new not to exceed contract total value is $1,169,268. As I mentioned, Ecolane is our paratransit software that is used for IndyGo Access. It is utilized by all of the mobility solutions staff and our contractors. A little bit of discussion is back in 2020, the Board of Directors authorized the Ecolane contract, and we're proposing the one-year contract extension, which is currently set to expire in 2025. So we're asking to extend it until 2026. The extension aligns with our mission of several critical agreements that we have provided in 2025, which include the new paratransit provider, MV Transportation, the care center provider, who is also MV Transportation. Our thoughts on the extension was due to so many transitions, we want to make sure that all staff is trained, prepared before we venture into possibly looking at a new RFP in 2026 for technology. Any fiscal impact, it's funded through our local operating budget. The software licensing renewal was completed using local funds. This is a special procurement, therefore DBE participation is unavailable for this procurement. And I am happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michael?
Mike, you know, I always got a question. This particular procurement is for, I know the scheduling piece of this in real time, but
Yes.
it doesn't necessarily address like assisting our writers understand what time is, that this scope does not include that. Is that correct?
So yes, I think when I answer your question, hopefully that answers it. So and part of this contract extension is the mobile app that Ecolane supports that does show the times for the customers that opt in to use the app.
That use that?
Yes.
Okay.
And so if I'm calling to book a trip, the care center agent will book my trip. They will tell me what time my pickup window is, and we go from a 30-minute pickup window. So if my If my pickup window is 9 o'clock, it's 15 minutes before
Or
and 15 minutes
after.
after.
Okay, so it does provide that
Yes.
via the app.
App or by human agents.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? If not, ask for a motion and second for consideration and approval of Echo-Lane Operations Technology.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Any opposed, say no. Okay, that passes.
Thank you, directors.
Thank you, Mike. Next, we have action item A4, and that is consideration and approval of IFB 25-02-541 landscaping services, and that's will be presented by Aaron Vogel.
Good afternoon, directors. Aaron Vogel, Chief Operating Officer for IndyGo. Since I'm up next, I want to expand on Director Gardner's question or expand on that answer. When an agent or a customer calls in, gets their trip information, they can also get their estimated time of arrival at their destination. Mike had responded to what their estimated pickup time would be, but they also get the information as to will it be a 30-minute trip to their destination or a 60-minute as well. And on their app, they can get that information if they elect to sign up for the app. I think that knowing previous conversation, that's what you were looking for. So I wanted to chime in there. So back to action item A4. This is quite a detailed action item for two different contract recommendations. So I will try to be slow and might take a few pauses in between. So it is recommended that the Board of Directors authorize the President and CEO to enter into a 3-year contract with Bright View Landscape and Green Thumb Landscape for landscaping services at all of IndyGo's 10 locations. Brightview was awarded work for 8 of the 10 locations, an amount not to exceed $258,228. And Green Thumb location, which was awarded work for 2 of the 10 locations for an amount not to exceed $32,100. Each contract gives IPTC the option to exercise a 1-year extension, which for Brightview would be a total amount not to exceed $349,519. And for Green Thumb for an amount not to exceed $43,448. If the 1-year option is exercised for both of the contracts, the total amount is not to exceed $392,970. This was originally solicited as one procurement, and we chose to go with multiple vendors based on the responses. And we broke up for the first time ever this scope and need based on our locations, which was not done before. And so I want to share a slide deck of just to show some of the locations that we're servicing with this contract if you approve this today. And this is for services from April 1st to October 31st every year. And this is for landscaping and ground maintenance services. Of the 10 locations, we will go through them real quickly. The first location, next slide, is our headquarters at 1501 West Washington. Next slide. 201 East Washington, which is our transit center location. Next slide. This is 9503 East 33rd Street, which is our administrative headquarters and the location we're at today. Next slide. 6410 North College, our inductive charging and wireless charging site on the north side. Next slide. 2425 West Michigan, which is our paratransit call center operations and maintenance facility currently for paratransit. Next slide. Our South Madison property with the park and ride. Next slide. And then we have a couple on 38th Street that for some property linear portions of 38th Street that we acquired through the preparation for the Purple Line project. And one component of that is between Colorado Avenue and Wallace. Next slide. And then we have another section between Grand Avenue and North Irvington. Next slide. And adjacent to that, just to 1 block to the east, is another parcel on 38th Street, Whittier to North Graham Avenue. Next slide. And last but not least is our future East Mobility Hub. at 11135 East Washington Street, where the end of the blue line will come and some of our other routes will also meet up and connect there. And so with that, those are the 10 locations. The services are for your traditional spring and fall cleanup services, primarily mowing services, pest control, fertilizer, and weed control. These contracts vendors are new to us. Our incumbent was the highest bidder. This was released as an IFB, so it is low bidder. This is funded through the operating budget and funded through 80% of it through federal funds. The vendors did not meet the DBE goal of 8%, but they were found to provide good faith effort to move forward with a recommendation to select them for our landscaping services for the next 3 years or more. So with that, that concludes my recommendation presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, hey, Aaron, can you help me understand what the logic of splitting this up is?
This is for really just
8 and 2. Excuse me, I'm sorry. 8 and 2 just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
It was actually, we asked everybody to price out all 10 locations. So it was à la carte. And we went through the menu of all the different prices and we selected, it's an IFB, so it's low bid. So of all the people that said that they could do the service and they gave a price, we selected pretty much the low price for every location.
Okay. Interesting.
And there was, I would
No
say,
idea. Well done, man.
Could I add to that?
Sure.
The decision was made to break it up as well to try to make it, the work more available to smaller firms.
Yes,
Both DB and not, but just smaller local firms.
Yeah. Perfect.
A novel idea.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand the logic, but it's plus it's less expensive, right? So
I think so. It was pretty interesting to see the incumbent prices versus some of the low bid prices for sure. And to Mr. Fry's point, we wanted to attract small minority businesses.
Fabulous.
Talk a little bit more about the DBE, XBE declaration, or either Brightview or Green Thumb, or either of those XBs, minority, women.
They are not. Brightview is actually an nationwide company, and they have locations based here in Indianapolis, but they are a nationwide company. Green Thumb is a local-based company, but I do not believe that they've met the XBE or DBE requirements. Yeah.
When you mentioned that they appear to have made a good faith effort towards the DBE goal, can you talk a little bit more about what you saw that effort as being?
Can talk about it, but I have a feeling I might butcher that one, so I'm going to
Okay.
ask for some assistance on that one. Maybe Mr. Fry, you could chime in on that one a little bit more.
Yeah, I was smiling at him like, let me take this one.
Yep.
No, so federal regulations lay out examples, not rigid requirements, but examples of what it takes to make a good faith effort. And so we did thoroughly examine these two bidders' efforts, and we feel they made an effort. First, you have to look at the fact there's not a lot of subcontracting opportunities with landscaping, right? We're just talking about cleaning up mulch beds, laying mulch, and mowing the grass for the most part. Each of these two did make an effort. They reached out, each of them reached out to 4 or 5 DBEs, including a local mulch supplier. The mulch supplier never got back to them. But the real factor that I think we found decisive is when you look at certified DBEs in the Indianapolis area, certified by NDOT, we have to use NDOT certified DBEs. There's only 2 landscaping DBEs in Marion County. So the other DBEs that these 2 bidders looked at were all around the state, and it's just, it's not affordable to drive 2 hours to cut grass. So we did determine they made a good faith effort. Now, after the fact, Brightview has found some DBE that one of the DBEs they reached out to who didn't reply to them replied after the bid opening. Technically, we can't count that, but we are going to get some DBE, a small amount on Brightview's. And then as to Green Thumb, they are not yet certified, but they're in the process of becoming a certified DBE themselves. So hopefully at some point they will be soon. Oh, and I just should add the third bidder. There were only 3 bidders. The third bidder said they met the DBE goal, but when we looked at the sub they were going to use, they're not a DBE. They're a city XBE, but they're not a state DBE. So we couldn't count that. And therefore they're, unfortunately, the way the rules work, they didn't really make a good faith effort because they didn't talk to anybody else. And beyond that, they were by far the highest bid. So taking these two bids is going to save a considerable amount of money.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks Sid, for your inquiry into that. I was wondering the same thing, so. Thanks, Bob. I'm going to ask for a motion, a second for approval of IFB 25-02-541 landscaping services.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. It's approved. Thank you. Next is information items. And we have item I1, which is the finance report presented by our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Bart Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Bart Brown, CFO for IndyGo. This is the March 2025 financial summary. Our federal assistance revenue came in over budget the month by $296,996. And for the year, we're over budget $795,283. Other operating revenue category under budget for the month, $96,724. And under budget for the year, $81,346. Passenger service revenue was under budget for the last month, $84,196. And year to date, we are under budget, $240,131. PMTF, property tax, and local income tax all came in at budget. And service reimbursement program revenue was over budget, $1,968 for the month, and for the year, $3,137. All revenue for the agency was over budget for the month of March, $118,045, and for the year, over budget, $476,943. Turning to expenditures, under personal services, fringe benefits were under budget for the month, $345,674, and for the year, were $1,531,050 under budget. Overtime was over budget for the month, $95,452, and for the year, we were over budget, $405,530. And March salary expenses were under budget for the month, $387,520, and for the year, under budget, $1,976,646. All of personnel services were under budget for the month, $637,741, and for the year, we were under budget, $3,102,167. Other services and charges, claims were under budget for the month of March, $288,043, and for the year, under budget, $1,238,566. Okay. For the month of March, the miscellaneous expense category was under budget by $20,988, and for the year to date, $232,852 under budget. Purchase transportation category was over budget, $24,581, and for the year, it's over budget, $165,464. And the services expense category was under budget, $831,360, and year to date, under budget, $8,467,360. Utility expenditures were over budget for the month, $28,725, and for the year, we are over budget, $98,191. So for all services and charges category for the month, under budget, $1,087,085. Year to date, under budget, $6,666,628. And finally, materials and supplies, fuel and lubricant category under budget, $160,915. Year to date, under budget, $479,293. Month of March, maintenance materials category, over budget by $72,723. It is under budget for the year, $29,899. Other materials and supplies were under budget for the month, $71,178, and for the year, under budget, $345,496. Tires and tubes category, under budget in month of March, $20,702. Year to date, under budget, $169,310. And then for the month, all Total materials and supplies were under budget, $180,072. And for the year, $1,023,999. So for all total expenditures came in under budget for the month, $1,904,899. And year to date, we are under budget, $10,786,793. Turning to non-budget requests, we had one last month, and it was for repairing walls at 1501 and to purchase some doors for the boardroom room at 1501. This is coming out of the capital expense category for $21,029. And two quick updates. The 2026 budget preparation has begun with an introduction to the board in July. And if any board members wish to have a overview of how we do the budget or just want to have a discussion about the budget and where we're at, please let us know. We can arrange that. And of course, we always meet with the chair of the finance before the budget is introduced. And finally, we tried to go out last week to sell our bonds of $125 billion for the blue line. We picked the day after the president announced tariffs and the markets. Well, let me put it this way. When I went to bed Monday night, we were at just under 4%. And then when we woke up, it was 4.5%. And we decided not to go forward. So we will wait. Hopefully it will calm down and we'll get a better interest rate. Mr. Chair, that concludes my report. Happy to answer any question the board may have.
Any questions?
Yeah, well, not really a question, but you know, it's budget time. Bart's favorite time of year to be around me. So I just wanted to reinforce with the staff how important it is that they really take this seriously and look hard at what you're proposing and to make sure that what you're proposing is what you need, so that we won't have a bunch of unfunded requests next year, and that we're looking at our budgets in a holistic manner so that we're doing the best that we can with what we have, so we can do things better, smarter, and faster, so that I don't have to beat up on Bart for the next 2 months, because it'll make his life a lot easier. So with that said, Mr. Chairman, I'll pass.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you. That's the end of our agenda for today, and I'd like to thank everyone for who's here in person or viewing our meeting today. Our next meeting is May the 15th at 4 o'clock, and hope you can be here or tune in, I guess. Also, I'd like to recognize our religious observations now and over the since our last meeting for the Sikhs, Ramadan, Passover, and Christian Easter. So hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.